allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Can I get the bank balances, please?
Our wonderful clerk, Christy, is gone to Montgomery for a training session, so I get to fill in for her tonight. Pardon me if I stutter and stumble. General Fund Account 2 has a balance of $559,856.65. The 10-cent gas tax account is $23,453.45. The 4.5-cent PIF tax 2 is $26,019.76. The 7-cent gas tax fund 2 is $19,319.56. The capital savings account is $53,646.89. The cash bond account is $4,592.37. The corrections fund 2 is $51,559.09. The municipal 2 fund is $91,373.85. The sewer savings checking with Cadence is $122,695.72. And the Town of Owens Crossroads CDBG grant account is $50.02. That's a grand total of $952,567.36.
All right, thank you. Do I have a motion to accept the bank balances and minutes from the last meeting along with the work sessions? Motion. I have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion by Tim, motion by Larry, second by Tim, all in favor? Aye. All right, let's see. We'll go around the room. Hope you got anything? Diane, you got anything?
Yeah, I guess. Might not wanna hear it. Now, my understanding is, when someone sells something to another person outside, another city or something or wherever, but, and receive money for it, is that considered having a business on your property? If not, then, anyway, I know the, code here states, no city, no, business inside the city limits on Orange Crossroads. I live in Orange Crossroads, and everything, you should know exactly where I live. And the person behind me, we done discussed this one before. They got lizards, snakes, pythons, crocodiles, ringtail cats, I got a wallaby. I heard we're gonna get 2 otters. And guess what? He said he's gonna open up a zoo.
Yeah, we're checking into that right now.
Now, told me once before, now you did tell me y'all was checking into it.
Yeah.
And now it's done got bigger than when I first brought it before the council.
Tim, we made Tim aware of it, he's gonna go by there and see what he can do with them, and we're gonna go forward.
I mean, I don't think I'm wrong on this. Cause I even asked you one time, I was interested in building me a paint shop on my property. And you told me, no, Diane, I'm sorry, you can't have a business inside one property. I said, okay, that's fine, then I understand.
Inside of Orange Crossroads.
But then, like I said, this guy is just keeping on.
Yeah.
So, I would appreciate it, if y'all check into it and see what the problem is.
We've been told he was gonna get 2 big cats too, so we're checking into it. I'll let you know what we find
I
out.
know, but, because he just got back from Jacksonville, Florida, which I presume that's where we go get his reptiles or whatever else. And, I just wondered, that is, what, the wildlife, have they got anything to say about something like that? I mean, can people own?
Yeah, the state of Alabama, you can own wild, what's it called, exotic wildlife, you can own that.
So is he, so you saying that he can own the pythons and snakes, you know, and everything like that?
But we've got ordinances that we've gotta go talk to him about that already exist where,
Oh, yeah, okay.
so he's not aware of them all, okay?
Well, I hope that is the reason, I mean, you know, that he might not be aware of it,
Yeah,
but, I won't go into it, but, I know somebody else is very interested in it too,
right,
you know. But anyway, and my other one is, I know it's first week of February, and I'm sure Jason might know about it, but you know the girl home sequence down there off of Hammer Road. Okay, it was, I don't know, it was Friday night, Saturday night, something, whenever it was. There's 4 carloads of the police who come there, blue lights going, rearing and everything else. I guess is it any of my business know what was going on? Was once before you said if anything major, I guess, happened, you know, we should be informed.
right.
If there was any kind of escapes, which, you know, we have had escapes there and anything like that. But now, I know that definitely to be a fact, because I walked down there to make sure, but I've seen the blue lights and everything from my house.
Yeah, no, there was just there was a couple of juveniles that had got in an altercation. And so,
So, I mean, but we shouldn't know that, I mean.
They got in a
that's the same
fight
thing as the
inside the
school.
facility, yeah, inside the school.
yeah, it's the same thing as like a school, you know, if they fighting at a school, you know, the general public don't know that.
But you know, I mean, I can see 1 or 2, but when you got 4 carloads of wine and lights flashing, sirens going, you think, oh my God, what's going on down there?
Right.
Or there been a killing or something like that.
Right, well, it's mainly us trying to hurry up and get down there to
Yeah.
make sure that it doesn't spread out and become more people involved, more kids
Okay.
involved.
So are they still living in that home or have
They
they
are.
moved into the new one?
As
Yeah,
far as I know,
mine-
they're still just living in, they're still staying in just that one, the main campuses.
Was the new one that they built with the fence around it?
As far as I know, they're not living there yet. Do you know, Tim?
I don't know.
You know, reason that, because I was told, you know, once they got the new one built and everything, that they would move the old one into the new one.
Well, they're actually expanding, so there'll be some in the old one, and then there'll be, more in the new one. In the new
You know, I
one.
mean, I'm not really saying being nosy, but you know, I like to know what's going around.
Right.
Inside, especially close to where I live, Jason, you know, cause you know,
Right.
several times we have called you,
Right.
you know, and you always respond to, you know, to stuff like that.
Yes,
But
ma'am.
when something like that right there, and then here it just went right on by, nobody never said what happened, or we might, you know, just like you said, a couple of them or whatever. you know.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Yeah,
I
if it-
feel like.
Now, if there's anything major going on, of course, we will let the community know, but, you know, just a
scuffle inside.
spatter between a couple of the kids.
Mhm.
Yeah, we usually don't let that know, and plus, there's also sometimes when things happen there to where we can't share that information because of HIPAA laws and
Mhm.
things of that nature.
Well, I mean, the reason I'm asking that because, I took a little secret, 48 is sitting into it.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't know why, but they did talk to me one day, but I did not tell them nothing, I didn't know what was going on.
Thank
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
Diane.
Thank
Chelsea, you got
Y'all
anything?
be aware of it, so.
Yes, ma'am.
The Old Harlow Rec Center, we're planning on the opening day event being April 3rd, the Saturday before Easter. And we're gonna have an Easter egg hunt that same day, if the town wants to get involved in something like that. Use the help put it on,
What time are you talking about having it?
probably, we usually around 10 o'clock start time.
Okay. All right, and that's on opening day,
Yes.
April 3rd? Okay. All right, so, sir, do you have anything?
I'm just here for the Arcadia subdivision.
Okay, all right. Sewer account collections, Tracy? Got anything with it?
I do, last month, we had a little bit over $29,000 in unpaid, past due, late, however you wanna describe them, sewer bills. And we've launched a major campaign because now we have the ability to cut sewer off. We talked about that, I think, in another council meeting, where we will actually be digging up sewer lines, capping them off, and there's gonna be a large fee associated with that added to these delinquent sewer bills. We've sent out a number of letters, and I lost count after a period of time, but I had two different categories. I had my critically past dues, and then I had my severely past dues. The critically past dues were the ones that were on a list to be cut off very soon if they did not respond. And I'm very happy to say that I have heard back from every single one of them except 3. And I'm not sure that 2 of those 3 have ever gotten their letters, but I think that's very good progress. The severely past dues, it has been amazing how many people have come forward and paid their bills just based on getting a letter in the mail. And I'd like to read a couple of numbers off to you. Where I said we had over 29,000 at the end of last month. As of this morning, we have a current outstanding past due balance of $20,333. We have taken in so far this month, just in past due bills, this is not in what everybody has paid their regular bill, this is all just on the past due accounts, $9,379.03. So I thank all the people of Owens Crossroads for paying your sewer bill. I especially am very proud of the ones that have come forward and responded to our letters, and they are now paying. So I think that's good news. Christy Eason, our town clerk, has been working on filing way overdue, like these are closed accounts that people left the town, moved out of the town, didn't leave a forwarding address, but they left us with hefty bills, like to the tune of $1,858, $777, $869. There's several of those that we have no contact with them anymore. They are completely gone out of the town. And in the system that she has discovered that we can utilize through the town's networking, I guess is a nice way to put it, she is able to file liens against state income taxes. And just this week, she filed $10,261.04 worth of submissions to this, I don't know how you would call it, this program, system, whatever it is. We haven't heard back, from any of those so far because it was just this week, but hopefully we can get some of that past due sewer bill debt down too, and get that revenue back into the town in some capacity. So that's all I got to say on that.
All right, thank you. Sam, you got an update on the firefighter interview?
I do. So we had we opened our candidates for our Owens Crossroads full-time fire department, the beginning of our full-time fire department 2 weeks ago, and we ran it. We ended up with 4 applicants we wanted to interview. We interviewed 3 of them today. We have 1 more next week, and at that point we should be able to make a decision. We made great headway today in moving forward on that, but we're just not ready to announce it until after next week.
Okay, thank you. Let's see, we'll go down these ordinances. Here we have a slew of them. All right, ordinance number 21-002 AM is an addendum to the ordinance that we passed back in January, which is dealing with the sewer valves. I think all it does is spell out the sewer cutoff valve shall be lockable. Sewer cutoff valve shall be installed so that access is available to Owens Crossroads operations personnel shall be installed off the public right of way, but within 5 feet of a property line with direct access to a public right of way or easement. That's the only addendum to that. Do I have a motion to consider this ordinance?
Motion to consider the ordinance number 21-002 AM.
All right, I have a motion, do I have a second? Motion by Tim, second by Scott, all in favor? I need a motion to adopt ordinance 21-002 AM.
Ordinance to adopt 21-002 AM.
All right, I got a motion to adopt this ordinance, do I have a second? Motion to adopt by James, second by Terry, all in favor? All right, we got some petitions for annexations. From Suburban Propane. They're wanting to come into the town limits. Let's see.
Should be directly behind your petition, Mayor.
It's not behind us. Anyway, so we got ordinance 21-006, annexation of suburban propane property into the town. Do I have a motion to consider this ordinance? Larry, give me this. Motion. We got a motion from Larry to consider ordinance 21-006. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second from James, all in favor? All right. All right, then we have petition ordinance 21-008. Which is the property, All Star Properties. Do I have a motion to consider 21-008?
There's two parcels of property that make up that one. That's why
Are there
there's
two?
two ordinances.
Eight, nine,
Oh, we got,
Eight and
yeah,
8A.
we've got two ordinances separately, 008 and 008. So, okay. So do I have a motion to consider ordinance number 21-008?
motion to consider.
All right, got a motion to consider from Tim, to have a second?
Second.
Second from Terry, all in favor? All right. All right. So the second parcel of that is 21-008A. Which is another property next to the previous one from All Star. Do I have a motion to consider ordinance number 21-008A?
Motion to consider ordinance number 21-008.
Got a motion to consider from Tim, second from Scott, all in favor? Aye. Let's see. We got ordinance. All right, we got ordinance number 21-007. Security alarm users and businesses. You guys need to read over this, talking about the false alarms, right, Jim?
Yes, sir. What we've had is, we've got several houses where we get numerous false 911 calls and things of that nature. One in particular, since August, we've been over there 36 or 39 times, I believe. That's a waste of our time. That's a, disservice to everyone else. We could be out doing something else, and this just basically goes into effect to say, after so many false alarms, that the town now charges you for these false alarms and false calls and false reports.
All right. So do I have a motion to consider ordinance 21-007?
Motion to consider ordinance number 21-007.
Got a motion to consider from Tim, to have a second?
Second.
Second from Scott, all in favor? Alright, we got ordinance number 21 009, construction labor hours and noise regulations. This just regulates the time on the, where they can be out doing construction. 7 AM and 6 PM weekdays, and 9 AM and 7 PM on weekends or holidays. Any discussion on this?
I don't like it. Personally, I don't care for it, but, that's my business, so that's probably why, but let's just say there's a commercial building in the neighborhood and it's, inclement weather and they wanna start pouring concrete at 3 o'clock in the morning. Is that a fine? I guess.
Based on what it says here, that would be fine.
We cleared that concrete drive over on, Pine Rock Road over there, we got stuck and mixed it right, and we finished concrete till 8 o'clock that night, we didn't have, once it was on the ground, you didn't have a choice.
Right.
And what do you do? We were there, me and Mr. Tex Johnson, with bad knees, and we were on the ground running concrete machine all night long.
Okay.
Just construction equipment, is that what you're dealing with?
Just dealing with, whatever, construction, operation of any tools or equipment. This is really dealing in subdivisions here, I think, pretty much, because people are closely located to the new houses are going in the subdivisions, complaining about them being at work at 5 o'clock in the morning.
The roofer's gonna start before daybreak. That's gonna be your next problem, in the middle of summer, your roofer's gonna start early.
Right. So, you guys wanna table this?
I would prefer to table it till we figure out a better way to word it.
Okay. All right.
I don't disagree with the intent, and then, especially in the subdivisions, but I think the wording could be improved.
Okay. You good with that?
And maybe exclude the commercial areas or commercial.
Or maybe allow some kind of variance or something, for a special occasion or something, I mean, I agree with kind of regulating it to an extent, but a lot of times you see that in the higher end subdivision, those regulations like that, where they're, $1 million houses or something like that, is generally where you see that, or where I've seen it.
All right, what do you got? We've got ordinance number 21-0010, which is annexation of property owned by Larry and Tara Furlow, located on the old highway in West Cross Road. Do I have a motion to consider ordinance 21-0010?
Motion to consider.
I have a motion to consider from Terry, do I have a second?
Second.
Second from James, all in favor? Alright, I got a motion to adopt ordinance number 21-0010.
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion to adopt from Terry, do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Scott, all in favor? Alright. So, let's see. We've got motion, ordinance number 21-0011, which is annexation for property owned by Greg and Joni Galvin, located at 9623 Highway 431 South. Do I have a motion to consider this ordinance 21-0011?
Motion.
Got a motion from Larry to consider, to have a second?
Second.
Second from Tim, all in favor? Alright, let's see. So we got ordinance 21-0012, 12, which is annexation of property owned by Gregory and Joni Gallen located at 9623 Highway 431 South. Do I have a motion to consider said ordinance?
Motion consider.
Got a motion to consider from Terry, do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Tim, all in favor? Do I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 21-0012?
Motion to adopt, ordinance number 21-0012.
Got a motion to adopt from James, do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Larry, all in favor?
Mr. Mayor, can we go back through those other ordinances that you did not do the adopts on and get a vote on those?
Okay.
You did some considering, but we did not do adopting,
We didn't do adopt? I thought we did.
not on all of them.
Okay, okay, which one?
The 06 one that I gave you, my copy of that.
All right, so I need a motion to adopt ordinance 21-006.
Motion to adopt.
Got a motion from Tim, to have a second?
Second.
Second from Terry, all in favor? Alright. Alright,
We got some more. The 08,
wait,
you did adopt.
alright. I need a motion to adopt ordinance number 21-008.
Motion.
Got a motion from Terry, to have a second?
Second.
Second from Scott, all in favor? Alright, what else did I miss?
I'm sorry.
That's okay, we gotta do it right.
08A.
8A, didn't do 8A either?
I thought you were just gonna do a one lump sum, that's why I didn't say anything way back there.
Okay. Alright, so I need a motion to adopt ordinance 21-00880.
Motion.
Got a motion from Larry, to have a second?
Second.
Second from Scott, all in favor?
Aye.
Alright, anything else on Lackey?
The 07 one.
07? Alright, need a motion to adopt ordinance 21-007, security alarm users and business.
Well, that one we're gonna table, never mind.
That's right.
Disregard
We're
that,
tabling.
disregard that.
No, not the.
No, that one we're not tabling, we're tabling the construction.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right,
Okay.
I was on the wrong page, I'm sorry, yes, we do need an adopt on that.
Alright, so we need a motion to adopt ordinance 21-007.
Motion to adopt.
Got a motion to adopt from James, do I have a second?
Second.
Second from Tim, all in favor?
It's the 09 that I need.
Yeah,
Oh, no, I don't.
09
I
is
don't
tabled.
need that, I don't need that. All right, we're good on 10, we need an adopt on 11, and then we're through.
Alright, do I have a motion to adopt? Let me find it.
11 is.
21-0011.
Motion to adopt.
Alright, I have a motion to adopt from Terry, to have a second, I guess at 10 o'clock. The town usually donates a sum of money for the West Crossroads Rec Center on opening day. And it's, in the past, it's been $100 for many years.
May I request $150?
So their opening day is gonna be the Easter egg hunt, is that right?
Yeah.
So if we did the 100 plus maybe another 100 just for supplies for the Easter egg hunt for that day? So we could help fund their advertisement?
So for discussion, guys, what do you think? What do you think, Larry? Scott?
Yeah.
Tim?
Sounds good, like that.
Terry? Alright, so we'll make a donation to the West Crossroads Rec Center of $200. For opening day.
And if y'all need stuff, let the council know what you need as far as operating and stuff like that.
Alright, Arcadia subdivision.
Planning Commission met on February 8th. Ms. Kraus presented to the commission the final plots for the Arcadia subdivision corner of Ed Spears and Lion Road. We looked at everything and, voted and made a recommendation to, bring to the, town council for approval, pending the last few signatures, the utilities, and then the town would have to sign. But we recommend approval for that on the plot.
I think preliminary plat.
Oh, I thought it was final. Preliminary plot then.
Preliminary plat.
We had to change our notes.
All right. So, motion to adopt the preliminary plat for Arcadia subdivision.
Motion to adopt.
Well, it's a preliminary plat.
Correct.
Yeah. So we got a motion.
Second.
Motion from Tim, second from Larry, all in favor? All right. Police vehicle option, Chief?
Yes, what I'd like to start doing, I've talked with other chiefs around the area, and what they say that they're doing, and they've had great success with, is in about 4.5 years and under 100,000 miles, they take their police vehicle, trade it in, they're getting a really good trade-in on it, roughly between $15,000 and $20,000 trade-in on them, which would go back into the purchase of another new one. So basically every 4.5 years, under 100,000 miles, we would be trading our police vehicles in. What that will do, that will keep us under warranty, 100,000 mile powertrain warranties on them as of now, unless they change in the future. So really all we're paying for is for the routine maintenance, tires, oil change, stuff like that. I think that'll wind up saving the town money in the long end. You know, especially, you know, if you have one at 120,000 miles, blows a motor, well, you know, that's $10,000 right there. I think that's something very good that we could do and would actually, initially it's gonna be a hit, I believe, but as it tapers off and the years go by, it'll actually save the town money, I believe, and will keep the, police department in new, vehicles about every 4.5 years, and keep them looking good.
Is that usually about the time something got you 100,000? For the last 5 years?
Yes, sir, yeah, about 4.5 years. They, from what I've been talking with others, they say if you get them, because the powertrain warranty is usually 5 years or 100,000 miles. So they say if you can get it about 4.5 years, you're still getting, optimal, trade-in value on it.
And we've got one right now that qualifies. for it.
Yes, and we've got one that qualifies for it right now.
When we talked the other day, we got 4 more that's going in a couple of years. We staggered those 4
Yes,
out, so that'd be
5.
a change.
Five more, and what I'd like to do is stagger those. That way the town doesn't take a large hit, 5 vehicles all at one time. Maybe do, you know, 1 or 2 every, you know, couple of years until that phases out. And so we get them on a better schedule instead of all the cars going off and going out all at once.
So are there police vehicles available now at the dealerships?
Right now, there's currently not one available. They've actually shut down the, police line, and they're looking to reopen it to start remanufacturing around August. So this is something that would, you know, not actually take place until August. And, well, we've got our name on the list, so it wouldn't take place till August roughly when they start manufacturing again. So you'd actually be looking at about October before we would actually receive of it.
Okay.
And the amount of offset between the trade-in and buying another one, is that still somewhere about $35,000 out of pocket for the town per vehicle?
Yes, I would say that would be a good ballpark figure right now. Because right now, there's still a few unknowns, because the 2021s, they changed a little bit of the interior and all that kind of stuff. So, we can't keep the same cages, you can't keep the same consoles like what we could in the previous models. So what we're having to do is, for the 2021 models and up, we're having to get new cages and all that kind of stuff, but I still believe that 35,000 would probably be a good figure versus the last ones we got, I think it was like 52,000, was fully equipped with the vehicle and all that.
What do you think? Terry, what do you think?
I think it's a good idea.
Tim?
That's good.
Scott?
Yeah.
Larry?
Yeah.
James?
I think it's a great idea. I'd like to keep it, set so that in any given year, we don't spend, say, more than 70 grand. So that way, no more than 2 vehicles in any given year. That way, we can kind of control what the town absorbs.
Right.
When he approached me about that, I thought that was my one take. I didn't want to have to replace 5 vehicles at once.
No.
And the only other thing, and I have no other agenda in this, it just, as you were sitting there talking, it just kind of came to me. Have we looked at any of the lease programs through any of the manufacturers?
We have looked at lease programs. The only bad thing about that is you lease them for 5 years, so you're out of that warranty, so you're not gonna get the good return on the trade-in. What you do is, when you do lease a vehicle through their GM, leasing program, you keep them for 5 years. At the end of 5 years, you can either turn the vehicles in and if there's damage, this, that, whatever, you have to pay for any, damages that's been done to it. If you decide to, at the end of the lease, I believe you pay like $1 to buy the vehicle from them. So basically, in reality, all the lease really does is, it's basically like a finance plan.
Finance it for 5 years, that's
For
what
5
it
years,
sounds
and then you
like.
turn them right back in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just wasn't clear. I knew there were, some of the departments were going to some of the programs, and I wasn't sure how that was working out for them. I'm not second guessing what you've already done,
Right.
it's just a question.
Yes, sir.
But that would be my only take, is I wouldn't want to try to replace more than 2 vehicles
Right.
in a year.
Right.
That'd be my only.
And see, and then that way, if you did lease them, then you're paying that monthly payment every month for 5 years, all the time. It never stops.
I agree. I'm good with it.
Good. All right. Anything else, Chief?
Just go over the stats for the month of January. It was very busy for us. We had 263 calls for service. We had 135 traffic stops. We had 23 case reports with 7 arrests. We issued 71 written warnings, 72 traffic tickets, and only 1 accident. And so by those stats, what it's looking like is our guys are being out, they're being proactive, and they're writing people tickets that deserve the tickets, but also giving some people a little bit of leeway. But the end result is our traffic accidents are declining. So,
Has Aldott came out and fixed the traffic light?
I have not heard, no, sir, I have not heard, and to be honest, I haven't even been over there today, Okay.
Check that out. Okay. Scott, you got anything?
No, sir.
Tim, you got anything? Alright. Michael, you got anything else?
No.
What about the young lady next to you? She got anything?
No, sir. I just been really busy. Oh, well, yeah, I got that. I did talk to Polly today, and we're working out scheduling for May. Because I think that's gonna be around the time frame that I'm gonna, shoot for to have my surgery. So, I got on the same page with her because I've got a lot of stuff going on. She does too, so.
So Brandy's got the court system working really good, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I'm making money.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go around the table here. Terry, you got anything?
No, sir.
Tim?
No, I just like to thank Teresa for all she does in the sewer department, get some money back. We've never done that before.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Good job.
Doing very well.
Scott?
No, sir, I don't have anything.
Larry? No. James?
Same thing, I just want to thank Ms. Teresa for the hard work she put into this. I know this was a ton of effort on her part, a lot of.
She's doing a good job.
Yeah, this was a tough challenge, and just looking across the board and having gone to the interview today, City Hall's running really well right now, across the board. Brandy on the court side, Christie on the accounting side, we're functioning. I think our staff is doing a great job, and Chief keeping us current, so I just want to thank all of us. This seemed like a good time to say thank you to all employees.
Yes, sir.
You did good
Thank
until
y'all
you
very
mentioned,
much.
until you mentioned Chief.
Yeah,
Yes,
well,
sir.
I'm doing the good side, so, you know.
Yeah, everybody's doing a great job. We really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. All right, do I have a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Got a motion to adjourn from Tim, do I have a second?
Second.
Second from James, all in favor? Thank y'all for everything.